welcome back to Let's Talk Whisky. This week we've got a new independent bottler in the glass. As you can see, it's a nice dark one, it's something a little bit different, and maybe to you guys a new brand as well. This is Unkiltered. These guys have literally just came out this year. I think maybe around about June time is when they kind of founded, and then they've only put a few releases out so far. It started off pretty small, but it's moving on to big things. Was at the Whisky Festival and I was able to try a couple of them and get my hands on this guy here. This is number one, so this was the first one that never brought out, and it's a Deanston. And you think, oh, that's pretty cool. A 13-year-old Deanston, but there's a kicker to it. It's finished in a Caol PX octave, which Caol, Peat, Islay, Deanston, big malty, amazing kind of honeyed notes and things, big waxy, great whiskey. You know, I do enjoy Deanston. This is a 13-year-old, natural cask strength, non-chill filtered natural colour at 51.5% ABV. These guys have kind of just started a company, and they've got a bit of pedigree behind them, in the sense of brother and sister Luke and Anna. So Luke was an Olympian, I think he won silver in the sailing, and he's loved whiskey, and his sister Anna has got a graphic design background and able to put together the kind of love for it all, a brand, design, good liquid, and so forth. So the first release, I think it was a kind of trilogy. There was three. I think one was a single grain North British 29-year-old, something like that. But this is a 13-year-old. If we jump back a wee second as well, they've actually got someone new on the team as well. Ryan Grant, ex-rugby player, played for Scotland, I think British Lions or something. And he's got a lot of involvement in casks and things. So they've got a great wee team they've put together, and the kind of passion they've went, let's just go for it. They went full in and they've started bringing us products. So I thought, I'm going to give this a wee review. I'm going to give it a try. I do remember trying it at the festival and I had my thoughts there. So I'm going to see what I can actually now break it down and really see what it's all about. So I've had it sitting in the glass for a wee bit as well. If you look at the bottle, there's not much left in it, and that's not a problem. The shape of the bottle, I think it's very eye-catching. I think it's different. The kind of big bold branding on the front of it. The cork is very different as well. So you can get a good pop just to see. Slightly different. Not the biggest pop that we get. There's a story to that. So the colour of it, you think it's just a damp cork, but they do, I think it's like 100% kind of renewable and things like that. They're not cutting any corners. The glass that they use and things, some have imperfections, so they're not having it made. They're getting corks they've got like kind of remade and things as well. So they're not trying to make new things. They're using like older glass and corks to the best of their ability instead of trying for the carbon footprint and stuff. So 100%, I think, re-energized and things, which is cool. A new independent bottler getting with the times, which I think is pretty awesome. But as we say, this is only 64 bottles, but because it's been finished in a PX octave is like the second smallest cask, right? I think a wee blood tub is your wee tiny thing. Then you move on to a wee octave, which is about, I think, between 40 and 60 litres you'll get from that. So, about the 60 bottle mark. That's been finished for 4 years in a PX octave. So it tells me in the back here it was distilled on the 13th of May 2011 and bottled on the 18th of June 2024. So literally just 13 years. So 9 years in bourbon, I think, and then 4-year finish in the PX X Caol. So Deanston, Big Malty, Great Highland Whisky, and Caol and Islay malt. Having the PX octave, I think this is where we're getting a lot of this colour from this dram as well. So it's dark, it's sitting in the glass pretty well. I've had it sitting for a while. We're going to see, do we get big peaty notes from an ex-Islay cask, or is it going to be quite quiet and quaint, and is it going to be more Deanston notes that we're going to get through? I think it's quite quirky what they've done here. But let's see. There's only one way to try and find out. I've got a wee nose, give it a wee taste. I've got my wee dropper this time. I've not forgot it to add some water and just see what changes through the dram. So legs and things, look here, they're taking their time to go down. I'm always expecting that with cask strength, non-chill filtered natural colour. I love the colour of it. It's more it's a darker compared to the ones that I've had previously. It's a slightly darker, more burnt orange note on that. Let's give it a wee nose. Let's get into this one, right? I think straight away the Deanston back notes there. You know, the PX hasn't overpowered this in any way. There is that honeyed note. There is that little bit malty clean. There's a it's not like a sour lemon or lime. It's just a kind of more subdued, um, maybe kind of more lemon. What's it? Not cheesecake, but not sour. It's as if it's a flavouring just on top of that. Still that kind of wee bit malty, wee bit fresh. This is a tiny, little tiny coastal note in there. Oily, a little bit waxy, the things that I love. And then you've got the kind of soft PX notes coming through as well. I think the dominance still lies in the Deanston, which is great. On the nose, it's fantastic, but there's just that little hint of your PX coming through, coastal PX, that little slight maritime, and I think that's when we're seeing the Kalila just kind of pop its head in and say hello. So still multi waxy, a little bit lemon, a little bit of kind of your PX notes in there, softer, gritty, salty. It's magic in the nose. I could sit and nose that phrase. I think I'll need to sit and pour another one after this, as always. But I'm going to try this in the palate now, so let's see how we get on. So, slange everyone. That's viscous. That's Deanston. There is just this tiny, tiny, still sea coastal note on the backdrop there, just as it's going down. The kind of last thing I got in the nose, and it's the last thing on the palate that I'm getting. It's got a great mouthfeel. It's heavy, it's textured, it's that Deanston that I know and I enjoy. But to have this kind of parallel finish to it is it's really quirky and really cool. I like that. It's a little bit dry, I would say. I'm getting at the end there as well. There is just a kind of soft, I would say, kind of burning wood, that kind of burning oak, like seasoned oak. Definitely just at the end there. Waxy, that's staying in forefront as well. We'll try another wee sip and add some water. I really like that. I think straight away, 64 bottles, it's not much, there's not going to be much out there. And to be such a small company and bring this to festivals and to whiskey clubs, for instance, it's going to be difficult. But I think it's getting the product out there has been really good. I think the other ones have got a lot more. It's not always kind of six, there's a lot more in the latest releases. But I've got a bit of water in here now. I've put a fair wee few drops in. So see if anything changes on this. It still stays typical Deanston with just this quirky oceanic note from the Kalila cask and this tiny, just soft, as I say, seasoned burnt wood. It's slightly dry. There's that kind of dried out fruit. Sometimes you get dried raspberries and things, and if you're having it in your granola, I've got that kind of dried raspberry notes and things with it. Still that soft kind of lemony lime citrus there. That wee honey texture's coming through now as well. It's just starting to open up a fair bit in there. Still so oily. And I think with an octave cask as well, you get a lot more interaction with the wood. That's a cracker. It really is. That kind of drying at the end, but no spice. Mouthfeel is heavy, it's waxy, it's consistent, it stays chewy. That tiny bit of Kalila's coming through. If you don't like peat, this don't let that word Kalila scare you away. It's a finish in a Kalila cask. It's not the spirit, right? But you've just got that little bit of Isla saying hello that we've been involved in. That's 4 years, right? I really enjoyed it. I think it's great. It's sold out. I don't think there's any anywhere. I think you need to kind of look in auction houses and stuff unless you get lucky and maybe an independent whiskey shop. You'll still be able to get it. But a 13-year-old Deanston finishing a PX octave, that's really, really good. I'm going to pour another one of these and sit and really kind of break it down. So I don't think 10 minutes is enough to do a video on. But I've really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward now to what else is going to come out from these guys. It'll be good to meet them one day as well. Hopefully, next couple of whiskey festivals, I'll go and pop my head in and say hello. But cracking liquid, cracking stuff, and I'm a big fan. And I'm going to go and pour another one and enjoy the rest of it. But again, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking, subscribing, leaving comments. It's always great to see the support that everyone offers here. But as always, join me next week. Let's talk whiskey. Bye.